Hare Krishna. We are so fortunate to have His Grace Akrura Prabhu from Vancouver with us. He'll be sharing his experience of outreach preaching programs and how he got so many devotees into Krishna consciousness. So let's hear from him what is his experience and what tools or programs he has been using. Hare Krishna Prabhu,
Hare.
welcome with us. So
Thank
please share with us your experience and what tools, what programs have you been using in to outreach to the new people and getting them into Krishna consciousness.
In the Western countries, we have several different kinds of programs that we try to attract different kinds of people within different kinds of programs. So, something like college preaching, university preaching, or sometimes we're not even allowed to do college preaching or allowed to be preaching in the college. So, what we do is a prasadam distribution program, and through prasadam distribution program, somehow or other, we like to give the students some kind of spiritual experience so that they get more interested. As far as other kinds of preaching, uh, temple programs are there, and especially the Sunday feast. All of our devotees have little Sunday feast invitations all week long. If and when they meet somebody, they give out a Sunday feast invitation. So, because of doing that all week, a few extra new people always show up at the Sunday feast program. So, we can expose our way of life, our way of worship, and the wonderful experience of Krishna consciousness through kirtan, japa, spiritual discourse, and so on. So, you will always see that some people come once or twice and they never come back again. And attending the same programs, some people come and they're so appreciative. They're so appreciative. They never stop coming back. So, it is actually Krishna's mercy who he wants to accept in his shelter and who he doesn't want to accept. We cannot really say or claim that we are actually preaching. The preaching is done by Krishna, preaching is done by Srila Prabhupada. Through his mercy, we are able to expose people to Krishna consciousness. That's all we do. We expose people to Krishna consciousness. And some people like some aspect of Krishna consciousness, some people like another concept of Krishna consciousness. Many Western body devotees would tell you, even jokingly, but there is some truth in there. They would say, "Oh, I joined the Krishna consciousness movement because of halwa. I just cannot resist the halwa."
Right. Right.
But of course, prasadam is that way, and that is the reason that prasadam distribution is so prominent in our movement, is because we're trying to give Krishna to everyone, even through prasadam. We give Krishna through his name. We do book distribution. We do Harinam Sankirtan. We make our presence known in the community, in the city. So people know that the Hare Krishnas are around. And when they want to know more about God, they know where to find us. Over last, I would say, 40 years, 50 years, now we're reaching 50th year anniversary, we have a whole new generation that has come up. We have a whole new generation who have been brought up in America, in Canada, in Europe, brought up seeing the Krishna devotees right from birth. So we are not all that strange to them. When Srila Prabhupada started this movement 50 years ago, we met so many people. To them, it was completely strange experience. They had never even thought of what they're looking at. But it has all changed in the last 50 years. We have people who have been watching us for 20 years, 30 years. We are in the parks, we're chanting the holy name, we're on the sidewalk, we are just walking along, we are outside the mall, we're giving out books, we're giving out free prasadam, we're always giving something out. If people will take a book, wonderful, we give them prasadam as well. If they don't take our book, we give them prasadam anyways.
Yeah.
So many different ways that we use. University, the science of self-realization and DYS classes are not as popular in the Western countries as they are in India. But we do use Bhakti Vriksha programs, Namahatta programs for direct preaching. Because through those programs, because we are having that program at somebody's house, a few extra new people will come up. And that gives us a chance to expose them to Krishna consciousness, expose them to chanting the holy name, expose them to the kirtan and the satsang experience. So that's how there are so many different ways that we're using.
This was something amusing and new for us to know that Bhakti Vriksha is also used as an outreach tool, because usually it is meant for the training, whereas you have been using it for as an outreach. So that's something new to know for the preachers. So please share with us one experience that was really amazing, in which you had so many souls join Krishna consciousness due to your outreach program. One good memory, one good experience that you'd like to share with our viewers.
In the Western countries, we do not have programs in such big numbers and people joining in very big numbers. But we do have wonderful experiences, one after the other. Just as you asked this question, something came to my mind. How Krishna is actually preaching and using us as instruments.
Yeah.
So there was this Mataji. She came to our Bhakti Vriksha programs. And then she went to work also. And at work she had a supervisor who was actually Paramatmavadi. So she would try to preach to her supervisor, who was already a preacher of Paramatmavad. So he would defeat her in philosophy. And she would come back to us and say, well, how can you help me? So we would give her more answers, newer examples for them to understand, and so on. It went on for a while. Then I suggested that you invite them to come to your home for the Bhakti Vriksha program. So at the Bhakti Vriksha program, we discussed the absolute truth has three forms: Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagwaneti, and all the examples and so on. And this Paramatmavadi person was sitting there looking at me and almost not hearing me out. Was not really sincerely even hearing. So I said, fine, what can I do? So it came the time to chant one round of japa. So everybody was given the beads, whoever did not have the beads, and we sat down and chanted one round of japa. And in between, I looked at him, and he hadn't picked up the beads, and he wasn't chanting. But of course, I could not say much. And the program ended, and they went home. But his wife called this Mataji, whose house we were having a program at, next morning and said, "This Hare Krishna Mahamantra has done some kind of magic on me. Now, even if I don't want to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is still going on in my head. I cannot take it out. I just cannot remove it. And I am afraid if my husband finds out, not only would he divorce me, he may also kill me." Because he is such a staunch Paramatmavadi. He does not believe that God is a person or God can be a person.
Yeah.
So we could not do very much with this Paramatmavadi. But his wife, because she chanted the holy name, she chanted one whole round of japa. Krishna performed his magic
Yeah.
on her. And slowly and gradually, she's been able to make this Prabhu more accepting the holy name. He has come to the level of accepting the holy name even if he does not accept that Krishna has a form.
Yeah.
He is accepting the holy name.
Yes.
And of course, it may not be absolutely ideal, but at the same time, Krishna is in his name.
Yeah. It's true. Right.
So, in a way, Krishna is tricking him,
Right.
and he's developed some love for Krishna's name. Krishna's name is absolute.
Amazing. This was really wonderful. This was really wonderful example. Now I have a question regarding the 50th anniversary that is coming up, and we are all into it. All over, we are just trying our best to celebrate it. How, Prabhuji, could we connect this 50th anniversary with our outreach programs and can aid us to get more devotees through this program, the festival, the 50th anniversary celebration? Please throw some light on this.
The 50th anniversary or any such jubilee is a very good opportunity for us to get media coverage. Other than that, our own devotees have a chance to get inspired. Devotees, friends who are working with us, they are inspired. But main thing is the media promotion, that advertising and outreach, the priceless outreach that we can get through media is really good at the Jubilee time. And it also has a very good reflection on our movement that we have survived 50 years. And not only have we survived 50 years, we are growing. In every way, shape, or form, we are growing after 50 years. That is really unprecedented. There is not very many institutions out there who are growing after 50 years of inception. So that really gives something to us as devotees in Krishna consciousness to be proud of, that Srila Prabhupada's mercy is still upon ISKCON, and we are part of it. We can be an instrument, and we can be part of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement. This is a big, big opportunity that Srila Prabhupada has handed over to us. So 50 years, 100 years, 200 years, 500 years, we're going to be growing for the next 10,000 years.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing your valuable experiences and your views, important views with us, and for encouraging our viewers in conducting wonderful outreach programs and making more devotees happier devotees. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.